You've had a lot of important impacts in disc golf, you know, from your successful playing career to the commentary and then all of the teaching you've done. When people ask about Nate Sexton, you know, 50 years from now, what do you want them to say about you as a disc golfer?
You know, I obviously I think of myself as a player first.
Nate Sexton is a professional player that has been throwing frisbees his entire life. His parents started him out playing Ultimate in the 90s, but in 1999 a disc golf course was built in his hometown. And with Nate already having experience with discs, he had a leg up on the competition. So by 2003 he went to his first Junior World Championships and won the whole thing. Then just 2 years later, Sexton decided to go pro, and he was able to consistently cash throughout the years, but he wasn't able to win any majors or national tour events, and by 2012 he had only participated in 12 tournaments, and the next year it dropped to 11. But in 2014, Sexton quit his part-time job and told his sponsors he was going to commit to playing in 30 events this season, and if he played well enough, he wanted his own disc. And throughout the 2014 season, Nate placed 15th at Worlds and 5th at USDGC, also coming away with the highest season earnings of his career at over $15,000. And with that season, Innova agreed to give Sexton a disc of his own, and little did he know that disc would change his life. It became a huge success, and collectors started buying up every Sexton Firebird they could get their hands on, driving the price of his discs to numbers that no other discs have ever seen, and the fact that they had Nate Sexton's name on them skyrocketed his popularity. Even to this day, the Sexton Firebird is the most expensive disc ever sold privately.
Another fairway driver I use, you may have heard of it, it's called a Sexton Firebird. I have 3 of these. These are all from the 2015 vintage. I use these for every shot possible. I always think, after I throw my drive, I'm thinking to myself, well, I think I put it in Firebird range, so we should be good for an up and down. So as long as I get close enough, which is probably 350 or less, and I have any kind of line, this is gonna be the disc I throw with a forehand. That's gonna be absolutely my best shot that I have in my disc golf game is Sexton Firebird forehand from inside 350 just to get right near the basket and hopefully get an easy putt. So this is the newest one with the cool black stamp that you'll never find no matter how hard you look. I got them all and I'm not selling any of them.
What's the most expensive one you've seen sold so far?
One sold for $15,000.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yep, that's true.
And was it just a mint condition 2015?
Yeah, it was on my living room wall for a while, and then I sold it and it got resold. But
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of moved on through the collectors a little bit. But yeah, it was a 2015 with a black stamp that I stamped myself, and it had like a purple ring around the rim.
Wow.
A really nice disc for sure. But yeah, I mean, pretty mind blowing. You know that it could reach those kind of numbers. So that's a record as far as I know for any type of frisbee that's ever been sold.
After earning his Tour Series disc, he had a standout season in 2016, getting 4 top 10 finishes in national tour events, 2 top 10 finishes in major events, and racking up over $20,000 in earnings. But it's what he was able to accomplish in 2017 that makes Nate Sexton one of the best players to ever play.
Hello and welcome to coverage from the 2017 United States Disc Golf Championship from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Big sexy commentary, myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Colling.
Here we are. This is the big one. This is our creme de la creme of disc golf tournaments.
At one of the biggest events of the year, Nate Sexton came out playing almost perfect through the first 2 rounds, landing himself a spot on the lead card going into round 3, and he stayed in that #1 spot the entire time.
Low, you see the angles.
It was such an incredible putt. And that was one, that's a grunted putt there from,
yeah.
You don't really see you grunt much when you putt, but you had to really get that nose up and push through that for a potential star frame here. And a perfect little straddle putt there, dead center.
It really can.
I'm sorry.
I'm going Metal Flake Thunderbird here. Really, really happy with that shot. I threw it just how I wanted. I actually was a little worried it was going long for a moment.
8 feet or so, maybe, after that bounce back.
Yeah, really bounced back a long way.
And this is low and wide enough and getting that skip up the hill, and you're going to be right there for an easy putt there.
It's my birdie look.
Yeah, you knew it, right out of your hand.
Yeah, I figured I'd give the crowd a little fist bump. I haven't been showing much emotion so far. I knew that one was down.
Oh yeah, perfect putt there. But but I believe you're going with a Thunderbird roller here.
Yeah, I'm looking to get aggressive here.
Thunderbird roller is a very aggressive play because it's such an overstable disc that it wants to hold this cut to the left, and that's going to give you that extra distance. And this thing is spinning so slow you can read the stamp almost, but it just wants to keep going, keep going. Look at that extra distance, and then it stops like that. I mean, that's what you get when you roll an overstable disc like that.
Just yeah, 19th place finish. He is back with a top fiver, and there it is. I couldn't believe it. Hugs all around. You know, some of my best friends here to watch. My wife and baby right there trying to get my attention.
You're just lost.
I didn't know where I was. Then I found them.
This is great.
Yeah, man, I still can't really believe it. Something I've always wanted to do, for sure, win a big one.
In the same year he won his first major, Nate started commentating for Jomez, continuing to help his popularity growth. And coming off his biggest season of his career in 2017, he was able to follow it up and put together his first national tour win in 2018.
Taking home more than any other sixth place. Nate, Sexton, half of the Big Sexy commentary duo. And now, your 2018 Ledgestone Insurance Open, presented by Discgolf champion. As will be repeated shortly.
2018 Discgolf Ledgestone Insurance Open champion, Mr. Nate Sexton.
Congrats to Nate.
Sexton is still playing on tour after 20 years, and he is one of the biggest names in the game. Over the years, he's been able to rack up 29 top 10 finishes in the national tour, place as high as 3rd at Worlds, win 1 Elite Series event, and win USDGC. And recently, Nate was able to win the Las Vegas Challenge in 2020, and this year he's placed in the top 10 in the last tour event. Nate Sexton may not be a top 10 all-time great, but he definitely is a top 3 ambassador for the sport, and he has one of the most collectible discs in history with his name on it, so his legacy will be living on forever.
I like to think that the greatest shot of your life, or a great moment in your life, you never know when it's sneaking up behind you. Like, it could come after some really bad shot. You don't know when you're about to hit this 400-foot ace that you're going to remember forever. If you're present and you're focused, you have an opportunity to do that. If trying harder worked, I'd be the world champion. If all you had to do was go, no, try harder. Like, that doesn't help. You can only be present, make your best effort, and then move on, and then come to the next challenge, rather than dwelling on the past or the future.